In the stillness of the night, when the world around you is quiet and the rush of the day has finally faded, there is a moment that feels different from all others, a moment when your heart softens, when your thoughts slow down, and when your soul begins to speak in a language you often ignore during the day. Many times you open your eyes unexpectedly at an hour you never planned for. You look at the clock and see that familiar time deep into the night or early before dawn. And while part of you wonders why you woke up, another part knows this is not random. This is not an accident of sleep. This is a gentle call from the one who created your heart, the one who knows what you carry, what you hide, what you fear, and what you long for. Allah does not wake a heart at this hour except with purpose. In these quiet moments when the world is asleep and the noise of life disappears, your soul becomes more honest. You feel the weight of your worries, the ache of your regrets, and the emptiness that no worldly success can fill. And sometimes Allah allows you to wake not because something is wrong, but because He is inviting you to something incredibly right. A moment with Him, a conversation that heals, a connection your heart has been starving for. Think of how loving your Lord is. Throughout the day, you are busy, distracted, pulled in different directions, overwhelmed by responsibilities and emotions. Yet, when the night comes, He opens a door for you, softly, gently, asking nothing except that you turn to Him, not with perfection, not with long recitations, but with sincerity. Even a whisper of, Ya Allah, I need you, reaches the heavens in a way louder than any words spoken in daylight. When you rise at this hour, you are not standing alone. Angels surround you, mercy descends upon you. Your dua is carried in a way it is never carried during the rush of the day. And the beauty is that even if your prayer is short, even if your voice is shaky, even if your heart is tired, Allah responds. He knows when you struggle. He knows when you try. He knows when you are fighting battles no one else sees. And He loves when His servant returns to Him, especially in the quiet moments when you choose Him over sleep, over comfort, over distraction. So when your eyes open in the night, pause. Don't rush to dismiss it. It might be a moment written just for you, a moment of healing, a moment of forgiveness, a moment that may change your path in ways you cannot imagine. Stand even for a few minutes. Raise your hands, even if only for a short dua. Let your heart speak because Allah is listening. And know that the one who answers you in the darkness is the same Lord who will guide you in the light. When a person wakes up in the quiet hours of the night, long before the alarms are set, and long after the world has fallen asleep, the first thought that often comes is confusion. Why did I wake up? What disturbed my sleep? Was it a dream, a noise, or just random restlessness? But if you pause for a moment and reflect with a deeper heart, you will realize that very few things in life are truly random. There is a subtle wisdom behind moments that seem small, and waking up at night without planning is one of the most meaningful of them. Allah, the one who controls your breath, your sleep, and your heartbeat, never wakes a heart at this hour without purpose. Think of it this way. The day is full of distractions. Your mind is constantly pulled by tasks, responsibilities, conversations, obligations, and emotions. Your heart is busy, often overwhelmed, and rarely silent. But the night is different. It is simple, still, and pure. When the world around you sleeps, your soul becomes more awake. This is why those nighttime minutes are so special. They hold a spiritual weight and softness that the daylight hours do not carry. So when you unexpectedly rise, even if just for a few seconds, it is not simply your body reacting. It is your Lord inviting you. Allah chooses whom He wills to call at night. It is a moment written just for you, a gentle reminder that your heart is seen. He knows your worries before you speak them, your tears before they fall, your hopes before you even form them into words. Waking you at this hour is His way of guiding you toward Him, giving you a chance to connect when your heart is most sincere and least distracted. It is an opening of a door you didn't even knock on. Many people go through their entire lives longing for closeness to Allah, but struggling to find it in the noise of the day. Yet Allah Himself brings that closeness to you at night. He wakes you softly, without force, without fear, simply by touching your heart in a way that your eyes open. This is not a coincidence. This is care. This is love. This is mercy in its most personal form. Allah pulls you toward Him at a time when your dua is strongest, your sincerity is deepest, and your soul is most receptive. In those moments, you may feel an unexplained calm, or you might feel a heaviness that pushes you to seek comfort. You might feel a longing that you cannot describe. All of these are signs that your awakening is not an accident. Allah is giving you an opportunity. Perhaps because He knows you have been struggling. Perhaps because He knows you are carrying burdens quietly. Or perhaps because He wants to elevate you in a way you never imagined. Even if you do not pray a full salah, even if you only sit for a minute, even if you only whisper Ya. Allah, you have responded to a divine call. The angels witness your response, your intention, and your effort. And Allah never leaves His servant unanswered. He listens, He welcomes, He comforts, and He writes that small moment as something far greater than you realize. So the next time you rise at night without a reason, don't dismiss it as random. It may be one of the purest invitations you will ever receive. A moment when your Creator Himself calls you closer, waking you not to disturb your sleep, but to awaken your heart. There is a unique truth about the night that many people do not realize until they experience it themselves. During the day, your heart is constantly influenced by noise, movement, responsibilities, and countless interactions. You respond to messages, face expectations, handle emotions, and carry the weight of everything that life demands. Even when you try to reflect or reconnect spiritually, your mind is often scattered. Your heart is awake, but it is rarely still. That stillness, pure, undistracted, honest, only becomes possible in the quiet hours when the world withdraws into sleep. And it is in this stillness that the true state of your heart becomes visible. When you rise in the night, whether by intention or unexpectedly, there is a silence around you that you can't find during the daytime. The sounds of life are gone, and the only thing you hear is your own breath. In this silence, you face yourself without distractions. You feel the emotions you pushed aside. You notice the thoughts you ignored. You sense the heaviness or longing that gets buried beneath your daily routine. And this moment is powerful because the night doesn't hide anything. It reveals there are things you cannot understand about your own heart unless you meet it in the stillness. Sometimes you don't realize how tired your soul is until you stand in the darkness. Sometimes you don't realize how deeply you miss Allah until you whisper a dua. Sometimes you don't realize how much you need healing until tears fall without effort. The night exposes what the day covers, not to overwhelm you, but to guide you toward clarity. In those quiet minutes, you may notice that your heart softens in ways it never does during the day. You find yourself thinking about your purpose, your mistakes, your hopes, and your relationship with your Creator. You are less defensive, less distracted, less influenced by what others think. You are simply you, raw, honest, and present. And that level of presence is a gift. This is why the stillness of the night is spiritually transformative. Allah created the night not just as a time of rest for the body, but as a time of awakening for the soul. He placed tranquility in these hours so your heart could breathe. The same heart that struggles through the day suddenly becomes clear and reflective. The problems that felt overwhelming appear smaller. The grief that felt unbearable feels more speakable. Even happiness feels purer when you acknowledge it in the quiet. This clarity is not accidental. It is part of Allah's design. When distractions are removed, the heart can finally hear guidance. It can feel closeness. It can recognize its need for Allah. This is why so many people who wake at night describe feeling a pull, a gentle urge to sit, to breathe, to pray, to ask. And even if they do not know what to say, their heart speaks for them. In this stillness, you understand yourself better. You understand your weaknesses, your intentions, your priorities, and your desires. You see what truly matters and what doesn't. You realize what you have been neglecting and what you must return to. The night becomes a mirror that reflects your inner world with honesty and compassion. So when the night reveals the truth of your yet do not fear it, welcome it. Because Allah allows this revelation not to burden you, but to bring you closer, to show you what needs healing, to remind you of what you have forgotten, and to reconnect you with the deepest part of yourself, the part that longs for Him even when you are too busy to notice. There is something profoundly beautiful about sincerity, especially when it comes from a heart that is tired, overwhelmed, or quietly struggling. Many people believe that closeness to Allah requires long prayers, perfect recitation, or hours of worship. They imagine that only those who stand for extended periods in the night are counted among the sincere. But the reality is far gentler, far more merciful. Allah does not measure you by the length of your prayer. He measures you by the truth inside your heart. And sometimes one whisper, one honest, trembling line of dua carries more weight in the heavens than a long recitation spoken without presence. When you stand alone in the night, you are not trying to impress anyone. There is no audience, no expectations, no image to maintain. Your heart speaks in its most natural state. You do not have to choose perfect words. You do not have to think of long supplications. Even if all you say is, Ya Allah, that whisper becomes powerful because it comes from a place completely free of the world's noise. This kind of sincerity is rare, and Allah loves it. Think about how many times during the day your mind is scattered, your thoughts divided, and your worship rushed. Even when you try to focus, life pulls you in different directions. But in the quiet moments of the night, everything slows down. The world fades, your responsibilities pause, and you stand before your Creator with a heart that is finally still. In that stillness, a single sentence can carry the weight of your entire story. A simple plea, like help me, or guide me, or protect me, becomes a complete conversation. Allah knows when your voice shakes. He knows when your chest feels heavy. He knows when you whisper because you are holding back tears. And He knows when you whisper because that is all the energy you have left. This is why even a few words spoken with sincerity can be more powerful than the longest prayer spoken without heart. Your Lord does not look for eloquence. He looks for truth. There are moments when the heart is too tired to speak in detail, too overwhelmed to form perfect sentences. In those moments, sincerity becomes the soul's language. You may not know what to ask for. You may not even know what you need. But Allah knows. So when you whisper even the smallest dua, it becomes an opening for mercy to descend upon you. It becomes a doorway through which comfort reaches your heart. This is why the sincere whisper of a believer at night is honored. It reflects trust, it shows dependence, it reveals vulnerability. And vulnerability before Allah is strength. When you drop your guard in front of Him, when you allow your heart to be seen as it truly is, you experience a closeness that cannot be achieved through outward actions alone. Many of the greatest spiritual changes in a person's life begin not with long worship, but with one sincere moment. A moment when the heart finally admits its need for Allah. A moment when the soul stops pretending and simply turns back. And that turning, even if expressed through a whisper, is beloved to Allah. So when you find yourself awake at night and you feel your heart soften, don't think you must offer long prayers to be accepted. A single sincere word can elevate you. A brief heartfelt dua can reach places your longest recitations cannot. Because what Allah values most is not the quantity of your worship, but the honesty within it. Your whisper may be quiet, in earth, but in the sight of Allah, it may be one of the loudest cries of your soul. There is a very special kind of closeness that is formed when a person chooses Allah over their own comfort. Especially at night when sleep is sweet, the blanket is warm, and the body is tired. Getting up even for a few minutes is not easy. It requires effort, discipline, and sacrifice. That sacrifice is what makes it so beloved to Allah. When you rise at an hour when most people are resting, and you choose to connect with your Lord instead of returning immediately to sleep, you are showing your love through action, not just words. And this choice brings a unique form of mercy, one that is reserved for those who seek Allah in the quiet of the night. Think about what it means to leave your comfort for the sake of your Creator. During the day, you may pray, you may make dua, and you may remember Allah while life continues around you. But at night, when everything pauses and no one is watching, the sincerity of your intention becomes clearer. You are not doing it to be seen, not to impress anyone, not out of habit or routine. You are doing it because your heart feels a pull. Because deep inside, you know that Allah deserves to be prioritized over everything else, even sleep. When you take even a small step toward Him at this hour, Allah responds with a level of compassion and gentleness that is unlike anything you feel during the day. There are narrations that speak about how Allah descends with His mercy in the last part of the night, calling out to His servants, asking them who seeks forgiveness, who needs something, who is calling upon Him so that He may respond. This divine nearness is not symbolic. It is real, and it is felt by the hearts that wake to receive it. When you choose Allah over sleep, you are choosing clarity over confusion, tranquility over stress, connection over EMP, emptiness. The heart expands in a way that is difficult to describe. You feel a peace that does not come from the world. You feel a softness that stays with you even after you return to bed. Your problems feel lighter. Your worries feel manageable. You feel held, supported, understood. This is the effect of Allah's special mercy that descends upon those who stand before Him in the silence of the night. And the beauty is that it does not matter how long you stand. Even a few minutes, even a short dua, even a simple whisper can bring down this mercy. Allah does not need hours from you. He looks at the sacrifice, the intention, the effort. He looks at the moment you push yourself to rise, at the sincerity in your heart, and at the trust you place in Him by turning to Him when the world sleeps. Sometimes this small act of choosing Allah over sleep becomes a turning point in a person's life. It changes the way they see their own problems. It strengthens their relationship with their Lord. It transforms their heart quietly, gradually, beautifully. It may even be the moment Allah opens a door for them that had been closed for years, or removes a burden they thought they would carry forever. The night is full of hidden gifts, and one of the greatest is the mercy that comes when a believer decides that their meeting with Allah is worth more than their sleep. Every step toward Him is rewarded, every whisper is heard, and every sacrifice is honored. When you choose Allah in the darkness, He illuminates your path in ways you may not understand immediately, but you will feel their effects in your heart, your days, and your destiny. There are moments in life that seem small on the surface but carry an unseen weight that can shape a person's entire future. One of these moments is when you raise your hands in the quiet of the night and make a private dua that no one hears but Allah. These silent personal conversations, spoken through trembling lips or whispered from a tired heart, have a power that people often underestimate. They are not ordinary words. They are seeds planted in the unseen world. And Allah, with His perfect knowledge and wisdom, nurtures them in ways you may not recognize immediately, but they grow into changes that unfold across your life. When a person makes dua in public with others around, it may still be sincere and beautiful. But when you make dua in the darkness, in complete privacy, when no one knows you are awake, when no one will praise you or even expect anything from you, that dua carries a purity that is rare. It is a moment where you reveal your deepest vulnerabilities to Allah alone. You are not performing. You are not trying to appear strong. You are not hiding your fears. You speak from the rawest part of your soul, and Allah responds to sincerity in a way no worldly listener can. What makes these private moments so transformative is that they come from a place of true dependence. During the day, you may seek advice from people. You may try to solve your problems on your own. You may look for comfort in conversations or distractions, but in the quiet hours, when there is no one to turn to and nothing left to hide behind, your heart naturally returns to the one who has always been with you. This return, this admission of need, is beloved to Allah. When you speak to Him in the night, even with broken words, even with unclear thoughts, even with tears you cannot stop, you are placing your entire trust in Him. And Allah responds to trust with generosity. He responds to vulnerability with comfort. He responds to sincerity with acceptance. These quiet du'as often become the turning points in a person's story, even if they do not realize it at the time. Maybe you have been carrying a worry for years. Maybe your heart has been heavy with sorrow, confusion, or regret. Maybe you are longing for clarity or healing or change, and perhaps all it takes is one sincere moment in the night. One private conversation between you and your Creator for Allah to shift something in your destiny. He may open a door you never expected to open. He may remove a burden you thought you would carry forever. He may place peace in your heart where there was pain, or strength where there was fear. And sometimes He prepares something for you that you will only understand much later. These nighttime du'as are powerful because they are made in sincere solitude. They are protected from showing off, from distraction, from doubt. They rise at a time when the gates of mercy are wide open, when the angels are recording your intention with honor, when Allah Himself invites His servants to call upon Him. And a dua made during this time does not simply disappear after it's spoken. It travels, it is carried, it is preserved, and it is responded to, perhaps in this life, perhaps in the next, perhaps in ways you cannot yet see. So never underestimate the quiet moment When you lift your hands in the darkness and speak to the one who knows you better than you know yourself. That private dua spoken when no one is watching may become the very moment that transforms your path, heals your heart, and brings you closer to the purpose Allah has written for you.